Hi, I'm Thrifty Tim. I'm here with like a 3 week overdue reading update. Uh, I, my health problems have been acting up over the past few weeks. I think it's because of this crazy weather we've been having. Had a long cold spell, freezing spell, and now today it's supposed to get up into the 40s here, and that's in northern Illinois. So, well, anyway, let me get to showing you what I've been reading, or what I've read, and what I'm currently reading and stuff. First, I did finish off 3 books the last week of January. The first one I'm showing is, of course, this one I showed you it was falling apart. Okay, this is A Sum of All Fears by Tom Clancy. It's a 5th book in the Jack Ryan series, and in this one, Jack Ryan is the deputy director of intelligence for the CIA. If I remember right, it's intelligence. I might be wrong there, but because of Admiral Greene dies, and he doesn't get along with the acting president and his pretty much a national security advisor. His national security advisor is a woman, and she thinks nobody can be smarter than her and stuff, and all that. But anyway, it takes place at the beginning. Ryan is a big factor in getting a peace treaty signed in the Middle East and stuff, but there's a small terrorist group that doesn't like it, and they get called to check out something in old farmer's field, and they find it like they figured it was some type of bomb, and that didn't go off for some reason. Well, anyway, sorry about that. That was my watch. Well, anyway, when so they take it back to where their encampment is, and in Syria, and the expert is taking it apart. He doesn't realize it till later on that it's an atomic bomb from 1972 that came off an Israeli fighter, and so now this terrorist group is building a bomb, but they're so small that nobody really knows what's going on, and but it's about a lot of you could say political infighting and stuff, and then until that with the bomb. And I don't want to go too far into that because it's I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It's a good book, and like I said, it's been falling apart. And I said after I got done with it, I'm throwing it in the trash. Here we go. There it is in the trash can. And now so now I'm reading the 6th novel in the Jack Ryan universe, and this is Without Remorse. This one in is the sixth in the publication order. As I'm reading them in publication order, but in chronological order, this is the very first book ever since John Clark was introduced, or Mr. Clark was introduced in book, it's book 3 of the series, I think it was. Admiral of the Kremlin. He's been he gained popularity real fast, and so this is so about his past and how he ended up working for the CIA. And this one's a reread for me. It's a good book. Okay, the second book I finished was the one on my that I've been reading on my tablet, and the book is Richard Darrow's Venture, which is the first novel written by Edward Stratemeyer. This is from like 1895 or 96, and it's about a boy whose dad gets killed in a work accident, but he called Richard over, and his father gets killed. Well, anyway, Richard goes to has 16 in this, and he's having to use it for his mother and sisters now, and he goes to New York and working to find a job, and this follows him with that, and how he gets to friends that he makes, and how adventures and stuff like these. There's been there's thefts in it, and everything else, and people lying about stuff that of course you see that so much anyway. So with that one done, it was also the first book in his Edward Stratemeyer series, Bound to Succeed. And so I've started a second book in there now, which is Oliver Bright's Search, and I've only got the first chapter done in it so far, and his dad is invalid, and he's telling him about, okay, I intended, and he was getting ready to go to college, and his dad told him, I was intending on sending you to college, but we're broke now. And then he tells him about how he was in on a mine with some others out in California, but they pretty much took all of his earnings from it, and so Oliver, then his dad dies, and Oliver goes out to starts out for California to try to find these guys. Okay, and then the third book I finished was A Bat by Mary Roberts Rinehart on my Nook here, and but The Bat is pretty much like her first novel. The Circular Staircase was like written around like 1909, 1910, something like that. And around 1920, she rewrote it with another guy for on the stage. They changed names for all the characters. They've reduced the number of characters in it, but I did not like it as well as the original. The Circular Staircase, but I still liked it. And the other two books I liked. So I've read that, had read some of Paul Feuer's before this, so that was reread, and and I did like the other two books the other two books I read, but I did like the Bat as well as the Circular Staircase. And with that done, see, I'm reading it from ebook I have here on my Kindle on on her. It's all like around all her short stories that were written by her until and that went through up through to only included the ones that were in the public domain at the time that this was put together, this ebook, and it did the series first. There were two series which the Bat and the Circular Staircase and the Bat they considered as one, and then the next series it's starting now is the Tish series, which is following an older woman that about her adventures, how that it's amazing adventures of Letitia. I can't remember her last name now, but she goes by Tish, and so I've read the first chapter of it, and it looks interesting so far. Now, the next one I have is this library book. I'm not all the way through it. I'm going to be stopping it now. This is Graham Greene collected stories. It's full of short stories by him. I've read over 300 pages, and this I checked out from the library, and I've renewed it 2 times already, and it's due this Thursday, so I'm going to be stopping it, and it's placed for in order to have a couple physical books, or a few physical books I'm reading. I'm going to be reading this. This is only 200 some pages. It's a book that I got cheap somewhere like $1 or less. It's Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. This is Barnes & Noble, one of the Barnes & Noble classics. I've read it in the past, but it's a good book. It's been a good while since I've read it, so I'm going to be reading it. And the last one I have to show you is this one. This is Born for Remembrance by Herman Wouk. I've read the first 22 chapters in here. There's still plenty to go. And I'll be carrying this over into March, because that way I can say I've taken part in, for the first time I can say I've taken part in March of the Mammoth Tree. There's over 1,000 pages in this book. And so that's what I've been reading, and what I'm about going to be, and what I'm currently reading, and what I'm about to start reading. So with that said, I'll be back to you tomorrow with my weekly live stream, Tuesday afternoon with Thrifty Tim and others, and then hopefully I'll be back on Friday for another video. So until then, take it easy and keep on reading.